Okay, this could be part 4, January 25th, Monday. So I showed you the Bruce Lee, and then this is something that my kid's mother gave us. She says it was in her apartment when she got there, when she lived on Maple Street in Utica, and we found her this last year. She comes out of the woodwork. Selena, remember? You gave me this and you thought it was insulting or something? Probably is. It's probably meant to be if you're a white boy. You know what I mean? You might be a redneck if you thought this was a curse. You know what I mean? I thought this was a blessing. I thought it was an honor. I'll tell you why. I put it on a picture on my MySpace one time. Kind of looked, like I'm being crazy or evil or something, or what's he mean? Hey, here's what it means, Utica, America, to me. Here's what I did. I went like this. This is obviously a broken piece. Somebody broke off the sack that he was holding to give him nothing, to have his little, I guess the word is coolie son, see that, the little coolie son holding his father or the elder in high esteem. It's probably a symbol of wisdom, not for nothing, but the greater wisdom is to have the strength to walk barefoot in age and holding on to something of your own, right? And to have the youth want to know it. They see value in you. They want to learn it, right? It's skill. It's interior, right? This is the picture, sort of, kind of, that I put up on MySpace. Only I was in my bathrobe to make me look like a fool. It's one of my first bathrobe, look at me in my bathrobe, public photos that I put up this past year. It seems to catch attention, right? Because I'm not looking cool all of a sudden. I'm flipping out, right? Here's what I meant. See my face behind the thing where the bag used to be? I meant I was holding on to myself. See that this is me verbalizing an image that I put up. I could show you the image and cut it into my video. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. This is what I meant. I meant, look, when it's all said and done, today I got my son. All right? After all the years of family court, the divorce, the strife, the family outrage that I even had a baby, low life as I was, right? They didn't support me. They didn't support my decision. Even my first marriage, she was black. She come from Guyana, South America, so she was black. She was no good. I went and lived with her family a couple of years in New York. They didn't like me either because I didn't work enough for. They were working at the Jewish Museum as a curator and making good money, wearing shiny shoes and a tie, and I'm standing there trying to, suffer like a bastard trying to get anything out of New York. I ended up under a bridge in a security guard position in a shack overnight under the Williamsburg Bridge. That was my job, right? But this is what I ended up, right? So I ended up with my son in Victory today. Yeah, tomorrow maybe, but today he's healthy and small and loves me. And I'm nurturing him, and I'm his guide. He's my apprentice in life. That's my fatherhood technique. That's my fatherhood technique. He's going to stand on my shoulders, and I'm going to be in the ground. That's how I'm going to hold on to him. See? So giving me this image and then walking away from me again, all right, as his mother, you just empowered me a little bit more. My heart's been broke already. You broke it. I tried to really make sense with you, and you don't want it. You're incapable of it. All right. And that's everyone. That's who I used to be, okay? I hold this with high regard. And, I read the book. I read the news about China. I read it. Let me tell you something. When that earthquake took them kids out in that school area, and I went in a Chinese restaurant that I was frequenting in New Hartford, New York, and the owners aren't there anymore. They're new owners. They were a young couple that owned the place, buffet. We used to talk. Chinese people don't talk to you in America unless you're doing something with them, for them. And at least it's my experience in the restaurants in New York and city and up here, right? So I ended up getting like a few words. They would come to my table and talk to me and show me pictures out of magazines and things. It ended up, by the time this earthquake hit, and I mean this, in China that year, I'll hold this in the image while I'm talking, we were crying. I walked into the restaurant and I ended up crying with him a little bit, you know, and he wanted to know. I asked him, what can I help do? You know, I was giving them demo music. I was giving them CDs of my music. Mark, Bobby, everyone in Utica. Like I gave you all this time. I've been giving you a heads up that I was doing something new, and I thought I was excited about it to a degree of wanting you to know about it. You can help me. Nobody helped me. Took the damn music and maybe gave me a small discount on drumsticks that week or something, but never heard a word from you after I gave you original music and permission to use it. And you have overseas interests and everything as well too, but that's another story, right? Pay your taxes. So here's the bottom line, you know, 2010. I can get knocked down walking out of my door the minute I do. But I'm not gonna be afraid of walking out my door. All right, that's Austin Santalella, 2010, to everyone out there, and that's the conviction I'm having for making videos. Because every day above ground's a good day. I don't expect anything to change for me or around me at all. Not because of me. I've had my son called crazy in a courtroom when the last few appearances of trying to talk to the judge about his mother not thinking straight and doing things straight. I've mentioned that my son was cleared of all reasons to have to undergo evaluations and everything at that time to involve him more, and can we just stop the craziness and let me have a little control over the situation to get him back, you know, into his not routine, but to let him calm down a little bit instead of being forced to relationships and things. You know, law guardians called my son. Well, it ain't working. You know, counseling didn't work. You know, insulting me. You know, you got kids. Here's what I wanted to say, and I won't mention your name because I don't want to be more offensive than I've already been in my own hometown, and I haven't left my jurisdiction of my hometown, right? But here's what I wanted to say. You know what? You should have been home taking care of your own goddamn kids. You're a woman, and you're sitting there with a small kid telling me about my kid. You should be home talking to your own goddamn kid. Let me explain something to you. Nobody can substitute the parents. Okay? You got a lot of balls with tits on telling me about my kid, and knowing I was bound in a courtroom not to say a goddamn thing because you can't look like you're freaking out over all these peripheral comments that are designed for nothing else outside of all ethics, but just courtroom tactics to try to make you flip out to look like you have another problem other than you do, that you're in court discussing as the primary matter in the first place. They try to drag you in to make you act out. Even if you, and I did it for years. I did the runaround for years, and I had no respect to my sensibility or authority as a parent. I ended up correct. I wanted to say that as a closure. A closure. Alright? See? This is a Benedictine medal. See? This is a Western Roman Catholic monk. But at the time he was a monk, there was only the church. I think this might even have been before the schism between the East and the West. The Benedictines, one of the earliest monastic communities. It's supposed to be a drive away. It's an exorcism, basically, in this cross. Here. That's what I say to everybody that I don't want to keep around in the dark with me when I'm trying to fall back asleep at 4:30 in the morning for another half hour, maybe an hour. All right, this is the kind of craziness I undergo. This is my belief system.